Stuff.
a lot of faith.
This one, not so much.
No.
Did you still?
Look, we can speak about finals, of course, and you say we lost, right? Absolutely right. The problem is, we were a much better team in the first half. Did we score a second goal, which was disallowed? Offside.
Should have been a penalty, possibly as well. Was a
penalties, so disallowed goal, all that stuff. So now the weekend you saw disallowed goals when Arsene Wenger said, I don't know why they give this goal, and if this goal is not offside, then what wasn't this goal? So it's always, you have not everything in your hands. You need to be lucky in a few moments. Not that you can play bad and should win then, but we were not bad in the first half, we were really good. But obviously the season was too intense for us to strike back in this second half. And that's what I say when I think about it. Doesn't mean it's not an excuse for us or something, but really when you think how much, but how many games we had. Doesn't make sense that the most important game you play when you had already 500 games in your legs or something like this. Doesn't make sense. So, or is it, it's better to be in your absolute best shape or in a normal moment, whatever. So to think about this sometimes from a FIFA, UEFA perspective would absolutely, or FA's perspective would absolutely make sense, because we all love the game. But when I think about 24 teams, World Championship, blah, 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 I don't know, 48 for European Championship or whatever the plans are, you forget the players in these plans. That's it. And at this moment you could see we conceded a goal too early for sure, but it was a little mistake. And the whole season, not more, and in the whole season, a lot of teams, we included, made bigger mistakes without the opponents scored a goal. They scored a goal in this moment. So it was 1-1, it was for us a shock. Obviously you could see it for everybody. You can again talk about atmosphere. If somebody who was in the stands will tell me that in this moment he thought, oh, now we come back. It's not true, because nobody behaved like this. That was reason. But now, again, the moment when somebody pushed the button, and this time, again, volume down. So, it was not nice, but we could have won it in the first half, but we lost it in the second.
Do you ever look back and think, if only I'd done something differently that night, or is there anything you think that could have happened to change the outcome of events in that second half?
No, not for sure I did, but only the 1-2 weeks after. But not anymore, because it makes absolutely no sense, because that's waste of energy. You cannot change it anymore. And that if we did mistakes, that we will do the same mistakes again in another one. That's not really likely. So no.
Move on to June. Germany going out the Euros, semi-finals against France. Did you watched a lot of the Euros? What did you make of it?
Yeah, I watched quite a few games, but I was not that involved. I watched honestly all the English games, and but not all the German games, because Emma didn't play, and so then I'm fine with the result, obviously. So it was always like this when I'm really interested in how my players are doing, but when I'm not involved, not too much. So I watched England games a lot.
Have you got any aspirations before you finish in management to manage Germany? Is that anything that's ever appealed to you?
That's not nothing I think about. You cannot plan it, not 1 second. So if you have a job, what I always said, you cannot be an option, because I don't believe in 2 jobs. So, and if you don't have a job, that's probably for a reason. And if then maybe you're not that good anymore, or whatever, and then the national team, especially in Germany, probably will not ask. But I don't think about it a second. So as long as I have a contract, as long as I like the intensity of week and week challenges, there's no chance. I'm in this moment I would not be a good one, because I have absolutely no idea what to do between all this. I don't play golf, so no idea. But for sure not nice. But in France, against France, obviously it's possible to go out.
And obviously by the time of that defeat, England had long since returned home. Another major tournament failure. Why? I know obviously sometimes you talk about the lack of a winter break here. Is that a big reason why England always fail at major tournaments?
Look, the problem is with this that everybody, and only English people, actually should talk about it.
Right.
Because I know you want to hear what I say, blah, 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 but at the end, if you discuss, because I say something that's absolutely the wrong way, if you think by yourself, all English people, it's a little bit too intense, then change it.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. So I knew before I came that it will be like this, but you can't. It's how always in life, you cannot have all. I want to work 24 hours and 10 hours sleep. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work. So you have to decide. So, and that's what you have to do. For if I was only one example, it's a little bit like this. You want to have the whole year football, and you want to be in the best shape in the summer when the tournament's coming up. Yeah. You have to think about if it makes sense or not. So that's all we have to deal with. We deliver. We are and if you want FA Premier League supporters order, and we have to deliver. We are really good paid for it, but that's not the thing. You know, the boys always won. The question is if they always can.
Yeah.
And that's different. This
So
is
on
obviously
to July. Yeah, Stanford University.
Perfect camp.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
So how important was the work you were able to do? Because obviously that was one thing you didn't have when you first came in. You didn't have that pre-season, did you? You were thrown straight into
training.
the deep.
Yeah, sorry to say. Yeah, we prepared only games.
Yeah, but as a coach, those 2 weeks must have been very important.
Yeah, of course it was. The whole pre-season was important. We could train a lot. I enjoyed the first 3 weeks before we left with the young squad, if you want, because all the players who were involved in the Euros were not here. But we had wonderful games. We had good performances already from the start. So it gave us a lot of confidence and a good feeling with the squad. And then in USA, all the rest came in. So we started, if you want, a little bit like again on
yeah.
But there were really perfect circumstances, good games. Important games, not all of them were good, but important games, and it was long. But so I'm used to do recamps, and everybody had told me, asked me what can we do on a tour, which tour. It was really a fight for me because I don't want to have that anybody thought a second it could be a tour. It's not a tour, it's a camp. So if you're on a camp, you can make some tours. You can go there and there and there, but we go back to the camp and train there, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
We could have done a few different things. We could have played in LA or where did we play?
Pasadena.
Yeah, Pasadena, and stay there, for example, for 3-4 days. But I didn't want this. I didn't really go there, come back. So you can leave some players in the camp.
Yeah.
They can train. They don't play and all that stuff. And we really use the time. That always the target of a camp is you go there in a good shape and you come back in a better. You go there as a good team, you come back as a better team. And that's why you do things like this, because it's not even, it looks like it's not because of the weather. No, it's, yeah. And on the other hand side, of course, in USA, obviously, a lot of Liverpool fans are around. So it makes sense that we go there, like it makes sense that we go next year to Asia. So I have no problem with this.
The players obviously spoke about how tough the schedule was. It was obviously fitness is such a key part, isn't it, of what you want to achieve?
But look, it is. But the funny thing is that we could have done so much more.
Will it be worse next summer?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It depends. It always depends. I don't want to do what I can, because even the days in the USA at 24 hours, we could have done much more.
Yeah.
But it's to do what you think is right, and of course you need to be best prepared for this long season, especially because you don't have a second pre-season. What Germany, for example, had now in the next 2 weeks, and so you all create your base for 1 year. How can it not be intensive? I don't understand it. So it was not too intense, for sure not. So maybe for a few players, of course, because they came a little bit late, and then they came late, and you had no time to bring them step by step. We tried to do it, and so it felt probably really intense. But they all, it's like these kind of days when you have a really lot to do, and you work really hard, and you come home, and the whole day it's so busy, and come home you feel this satisfaction. Yeah. And that's how a camp should be. You always think it's too much, it's too much, it's too much, and then when you come home, you think, boy, it was so good. Yeah, and that's the plan.